So, I ain't got no security. I'm not out here, nobody chasing me down, trying to do nothing to me, so I ain't worried about none of that.
Someone chased him down and killed him.
Yeah, that, out of town, that's crazy, because I couldn't see something on the highway in New York City like that. That's just like, rest in peace, MO3. And, and Yellow Beezy's innocent till proven guilty.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
I mean,
The man accused of killing Mo3 just went on camera, and his words have the streets buzzing. I know what I did. That's what Quandontrell White, the man accused of chasing Mo3 down a Dallas freeway and killing him in broad daylight, said for the record, but then came a twist that shook everyone. What White revealed might change everything. In a shocking jailhouse interview, he calmly stated without hesitation, "They got the wrong man." With those words, the story around Mo3's murder took a stunning turn. The timing couldn't be more dramatic. People are now questioning everything. Was Quandontrell White set up? Could it be a case of mistaken identity? It's not just White's claim that's fueling the controversy. He didn't just make a passing remark, he dug into the case, pointing out discrepancies and flaws on camera. And just like that, the internet erupted. Social media users were quick to weigh in, with one comment summing up the absurdity of the moment. Imagine being this man's attorney, and he's doing interviews from his jail cell for a podcast. But let's be clear, Quandontrell White didn't end up in prison on some fluke. The feds came down hard on him. He was sentenced to 105 months, nearly 9 years, in federal prison. And no, that wasn't for Mo3's murder. This was all about a gun charge. U.S. Attorney Chad E. Meacham from the Northern District of Texas laid it all out. White admitted back in May to illegally carrying a 9mm semi-automatic pistol. This wasn't some shady setup either. Police found the gun in his pants pocket. So what exactly happened? On August 16, 2020, officers spotted White riding a dirt bike on West Pleasant Run Road in Lancaster, Texas. He violated a traffic rule, prompting the cops to turn on their lights and sirens. Instead of pulling over, White took off, igniting a chase. He eventually crashed the dirt bike and tried to flee on foot, but officers quickly caught him. That's when they found the gun. Now, White is serving that sentence, and his murder charge in Mo3's death is still pending. But it's not just White stirring the pot. While he's speaking out from behind bars, adamantly denying he killed Mo3, another key figure, Yellow Beezy, remains silent. Beezy, whose real name is Marquise DeAndre Conway, was arrested on March 20th, 2025. The footage of his arrest made waves online. The surveillance video showed Beezy calm, emotionless, and almost indifferent as officers led him through the station. It was the kind of scene that had the internet buzzing, and when Beezy's lawyer, Toby Shook, gave a statement to TMZ, it sounded like standard PR spin. After he secured bond, he feels relieved to be released. That was it. No comment on Mo3, no denial, just relieved. But what truly shocked everyone was the timing. Beezy had just been indicted by a Dallas County grand jury on March 18th, only 2 days before his arrest, on a charge of capital murder for remuneration. In legal terms, the state believes Beezy paid to have Mo3 killed. This wasn't a spur-of-the-moment act, but a calculated hit. The bond hearing came next, and it was intense. The state set Beezy's bond at a staggering $2 million. His defense claimed he couldn't afford it, which brought his family into the spotlight. Beezy's grandmother, Alma Jean Alexander, took the stand and delivered a memorable line that caught everyone's attention. But the prosecutors weren't buying the broke narrative. They presented cold, hard numbers. From Beezy's 2020 bank records, it turned out he had nearly $870,000 spread across various accounts. The prosecution highlighted his lavish lifestyle, including a bulletproof Denali, and zeroed in on a specific transaction, a $40,000 cash withdrawal made shortly after Mo3's murder. Prosecutor Tommy Adams told the court that a witness would testify Beezy helped pay for the hit, alleging the withdrawal was no coincidence. It was part of the murder's funding. Beezy's defense team wasn't having it. They countered fiercely, claiming there was no solid evidence linking Beezy to the payment. No text messages, no social media conversations, no bank records directly showing any money exchanged for murder. The defense attorney argued, "You've heard no information of a text message, any communication on a social media platform that our client paid for this murder, any kind of remuneration, just this individual who stepped forward and stated he overheard this conversation." Then came the moment no one saw coming. Judge Gracie Lewis stunned the courtroom by lowering Beezy's bond to $750,000. But she didn't stop there. She criticized Beezy for his lack of seriousness in filling out financial forms, noting that his casual approach raised concerns about how seriously he was taking the charges against him. In a direct statement, Judge Lewis warned him, "No games, no funny business, she was watching closely." So yes, Beezy walked out on bond, but that moment wasn't just about walking free. It was a loud warning shot that echoed online, sparking all kinds of debates. People were quick to dissect the situation. "He's a rapper," some said. 40 grand could be for anything. Others noted how impressive it was that his bond dropped from $2 million to $750,000 so fast. They weren't surprised he got out. They were stunned by how quickly it all went down. Social media went wild. One comment pointed out the luxury lifestyle. "This man is not worried at all, and he's far from broke." Another chimed in, "He's from the cliff for real. Bulletproof ride, six-figure accounts, and $40K on hand, yet claims he can't post bond?" The internet was having none of it. Some even joked, "He better get out of the country." Comparisons began rolling in too, like how Tory Lanez couldn't secure bond in a case that didn't even involve someone dying. The internet didn't hold back. But buried beneath all the noise was a detail most overlooked: the judge's reasoning. She said one key factor in reducing the bond was the lack of solid evidence. No digital paper trail, no clear-cut documentation, just one witness's claim and a shaky story. It was a crucial point. The judge also warned Beezy not to intimidate anyone connected to the case. It was a quiet yet critical note that added weight to the courtroom exchange. Then came the tweet that stopped everyone in their tracks. Big U paid it for him. It might have been a joke, but it stuck. After all, Big U's name carries weight. He's known for helping artists not only with their music careers, but also with legal matters. He's got connections, moves behind the scenes, and knows the right people. If Beezy needed someone to quietly handle that $750,000 bond, Big U would definitely be a name on that short list. Beezy's from Oak Cliff, and in those circles, street loyalty means everything. If there's silence now, it might not just be about saving face. That bond money could mean more than just getting out of jail. It could be about making sure certain names stay out of the conversation. So Beezy's out keeping quiet as usual. But Mo3, he never walked out of that chase. His murder was brutal, shot on a freeway in broad daylight with traffic all around. The beef between Mo3 and Beezy was deadly. And even as Beezy walked free, the questions and tension lingered. Then something unexpected shook the internet. Hours after Beezy's bond drop, college kids shared an old studio clip of Mo3 and Beezy side by side. They weren't arguing. There was no tension, no threats, just two Dallas rappers hanging out, recording, laughing. It was surreal. If you'd only seen that footage, you'd think they were cool, maybe not best friends, but definitely not enemies. It completely muddied the narrative. But then came the freeway footage. Mo3's car is stopped in traffic on I-35. He jumps out, running through the lanes as if he knows something's coming. A man follows him, gun in hand. Seconds later, Mo3 is hit, right there on the highway in broad daylight. The internet exploded with theories. Why did he stop the car? Some said he heard shots. Others claimed his tire was hit. Then someone connected the dots. Multiple cars were on the highway that day, allegedly working together. A post emerged suggesting Mo3's tire was shot out, a move that didn't seem random, but deliberate, planned. It looked like a setup from the start. And that's when the hard evidence came into play. Phone records didn't lie. They revealed constant communication between Beezy and Quan White the day before Mo3's murder. Calls going back and forth, pings placing them near Mo3's location that night. The data told a story that social media speculation alone couldn't. Near the spot where Mo3 was killed, everything took another dramatic turn. Prosecutors didn't mince words. They alleged this wasn't just a street beef, it was a calculated hit. According to them, Beezy called the shots, put up the money, and coordinated the plan. The phone records, the cash, and the location data all pointed in one direction. People thought they finally had the puzzle solved. But then the story shifted again, and this time it involved a woman. The Shade Room reported that Mo3 had just left a woman's house that morning. Feeling watched, he tried to lose a car that had been tailing him. He even pulled into a gas station to see if it would back off. It didn't. The same car stayed on him. Mo3 then got back on I-35, and the tension escalated. That's when it all went down. The chase, the crash, the tragic ending. TMZ followed up, claiming Mo3 was frantically trying to escape his alleged killers, fleeing on foot after the crash before being fatally shot in the back of the head. The woman's identity was never confirmed by police, but fans ran with their own theories. Many believed she was connected to Beezy's circle. Though no proof emerged, the lack of a denial only fueled speculation. The internet began piecing things together, each detail creating more buzz. Finally, Beezy addressed the rumors in a short, calm interview with the Lamp channel. No yelling, no ranting. Just a cold, straight delivery. Certain things need to be addressed, certain don't. Stop attaching me to all that because it ain't got nothing to do with me. It sounded like he had been waiting to say that. But rather than quelling the speculation, his words only made people dig deeper. At this point, Beezy's face was plastered all over the blogs, and the same question kept coming up. How did this all begin? Fans knew this wasn't some one-night argument or a single diss track. This feud had been brewing for a long time. The history between Mo3 and Beezy ran deep, and with each new detail, the public only became more obsessed. Both Mo3 and Beezy came out of Oak Cliff, a Dallas neighborhood where your name means everything. You're either respected or tested, there's no in-between. By 2017, tensions were already simmering. Comedian Roy Lee, a close friend of Mo3, wasn't shy about questioning Beezy's street credibility. He openly challenged whether Beezy really represented Oak Cliff like he claimed. Roy made his stance clear. He wasn't siding with Beezy. That personal jab ignited a fire that wouldn't go out. Things turned violent. On September 25th, 2018, Roy Lee was shot in a North Dallas parking lot. He survived the initial attack, but tragically passed away on October 13th due to complications. A blood clot from the gunshot wound. The very next day, October 14th, Beezy himself was targeted in a drive-by shooting in Louisville. He survived 8 bullets, but the timing of it all felt far from coincidental. Mo3 didn't respond with more bullets. He used his music to hit back, dropping diss tracks that left nothing to the imagination. In 2019, on Roy Lee's birthday, Mo3 released 219, a track that pointed the finger directly at Beezy. He blamed Beezy for Roy Lee's death. Social media lit up. One viral tweet summed it up. The Mo3 and Yellow Beezy feud turned deadly after Beezy ducked a fade from Mo3's friend Roy Lee. Lee was later killed, setting off a chain of incidents in the city. Online forums like Reddit dug deeper. One user speculated, "I know Mo3's had started getting big, and he was talking a lot on social media. Just don't know if that's 100% what got him killed." This wasn't just about rap anymore. This was pride, ego, and street politics. The beef ran deep, and the violence that followed wasn't random. It was a cycle of retaliation that no one could stop. By 2024, when Beezy appeared on Can I Vent?, everyone was waiting to hear his side. The host finally asked the question that had been on everyone's mind. Why did it all go so far? Beezy paused, shrugged, and then started to open up. Beezy didn't hold back. He called Mo3 jealous, bitter about his success. That statement landed like a punch, making the beef seem less about music and more about something personal. It sounded like the songs, the interviews, the confrontations, they weren't just for show. There was genuine resentment boiling underneath. But just when it seemed like Beezy was being upfront, he turned around and changed his story. In a different interview, Beezy was asked if he and Mo3 ever had a real issue. His response, a casual, The vibe shifted completely. First, it was all bitterness and tension. Now, Beezy claimed there was no beef at all. He went from saying it was real heat to brushing it off like it was nothing. Fans were left scratching their heads trying to figure out what to believe, and then Beezy flipped things again. In a rare, unexpected moment, he actually showed respect for Mo3. He acknowledged Mo3's impact on the city. No insults, no backhanded comments, just a straightforward acknowledgement. It was one of the only times Beezy publicly spoke positively about Mo3. People were stunned. It didn't fit the narrative everyone had been watching unfold for years. Meanwhile, Mo3 had his own moments that stuck with fans. When Beezy got shot in 2018, people were quick to ask Mo3 for his thoughts. His response was blunt and unapologetic. It's the world. He didn't offer sympathy. didn't fake concern. He just gave that raw, unfiltered energy he was known for. Mo3 also sat down to address the rumors and drama, denying that the beef was real. He said the whole narrative came from outsiders, people who weren't even in the streets. But the music told another story. The diss tracks, the Instagram posts, the side comments, they all hinted at something deeper. Even if the beef wasn't real in Mo3's words, it was something close. Fans kept debating who started it, who was at fault, and who really hated who. As the back and forth played out, Beezy's legal troubles started stacking up. Arrests seemed to follow him everywhere. By February 14, 2021, he was back in the news. Arrested in Dallas for unlawful possession of a firearm. It wasn't his first charge, and it wouldn't be his last. While he got out the same day, the pattern was clear. Trouble wasn't letting go of Beezy, and his name was making headlines for all the wrong reasons. August 11, 2021, marked another arrest for Beezy. This time it was drug and weapon charges. No details on what kind of drug or weapon, but the headlines alone kept people talking. Beezy's name was starting to feel like it came with a permanent shadow. Then came November 5th, 2021, when Beezy was arrested in Plano, Texas. That news hit hard and spread fast. He was charged with sexual assault and yet another weapons charge. The internet lit up. For weeks, his name dominated blogs, tweets, and Instagram pages. When that sexual assault charge got tossed in June 2022, it barely made a dent in public perception. The internet rarely remembers when charges get dropped. It just remembers the mugshots. And Beezy's mugshot kept showing up again and again. By July 2024, he was involved in a different kind of trouble. This time not jail, but a lawsuit. His name was tied to an incident at a Chris Brown show in Fort Worth. According to the plaintiffs, they were invited to a VIP event at Dickies Arena, and things went sideways. They claimed they were jumped by Chris Brown's crew, and Beezy's name was dragged into the mix. Beezy's lawyer shot back quickly, telling the Shade Room that Beezy wasn't involved, never had contact with the plaintiffs, and didn't understand why he was even named in the lawsuit. But it didn't matter. His name was out there again. Guns, assaults, lawsuits, each incident adding to a long list. At some point, people stopped calling it bad luck. They started calling it a pattern. To understand how Beezy got to this point, you have to go back, before the fame, before the chains, before the headlines. He was Marquise Conway, a kid from Oak Cliff, growing up in a rough environment. When he was just 12 years old, his father was shot and killed at home on Mother's Day. That kind of tragedy leaves a mark. It doesn't just go away. As a kid, Conway dreamed big: football, basketball, maybe going pro. But life had other plans. By his teenage years, those dreams had faded into the background. Survival took center stage. He joined the Crips and started dealing, not to be flashy, not to build a rep, but just to eat. It wasn't the glamorous backstory of a rap icon, it was gritty, raw, and real life. Looking at his later arrests, the charges, the street connections, it all came from somewhere. It didn't appear out of nowhere. It grew from the hardships he faced long before he ever picked up a microphone. It's a familiar pattern, one we've seen repeated time and again, especially in neighborhoods like Oak Cliff. In places where gang life is deeply rooted, getting a hit single doesn't mean leaving that world behind. Beezy was far from the first artist to carry that weight with him. He never shied away from his Crip affiliation. He repped it openly, just like some of the most well-known names in hip-hop. Look at Snoop Dogg. He wore the blue flag. Nipsey Hussle lived it and breathed it. Blueface still flaunts it all over social media. Quando Rondo experienced the lifestyle firsthand, and it ultimately caught up with him. For some artists, those ties served as a boost to their image and career. For others, they became a trap, leading to consequences they couldn't escape. Take Chef G, for example. He rose to fame on Brooklyn's drill scene, climbing the charts with hit after hit. But prosecutors said he wasn't just making music. They accused him of funding gang violence, celebrating shootings, and orchestrating criminal activities. His chart-topping success didn't shield him from a 140-count indictment that landed him in jail. Quando Rondo found himself in a similar cycle. He had the fans, the tours, and the spotlight. But the same lifestyle that helped shape his image also put him behind bars. He's currently serving 33 months on federal charges involving drugs, weapons, and a long list of gang-related activities tied to the Rollin' 60s. Even Big U, who wasn't a rapper but a key figure in Los Angeles' Rollin' 60s neighborhood, saw the same cycle play out. Despite his public image as a community mentor, the feds painted a darker picture, accusing him of running a criminal empire under the guise of youth programs, extortion, fraud, and even murder. So when Yellow Beezy's name surfaced in connection with a capital murder charge, few people were shocked. It's a storyline we've heard before, starting from pain, fighting to escape, finding fame, trying to leave the streets behind, but the streets rarely let go. The gun charge in 2021, the drug bust, the high-profile sexual assault case that ultimately got dismissed, the lawsuit alleging Beezy's involvement in a backstage altercation, each incident, true or not, leaves a mark. Over time, they stack up, building a narrative that feels all too familiar. People stop seeing these events as isolated cases and start seeing a cycle, one that many Crip-affiliated rappers have followed. Some managed to rise above it, others stayed trapped. And now, with Quan White's new interviews stirring the pot, the narrative could shift once more. For Beezy, it's no longer just about the cases that have come and gone, it's about what comes next. Could White's revelations alter the course of Beezy's future, or will the cycle repeat itself yet again? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain. In this game, the fall is always closer than it seems.